Okay, World Cruisers, this is day 4 in Nairobi, and we are at the Giraffe Center. And later on in the day, we'll be going over to the Kazuri bead factory. But today, we're going to go to essentially a giraffe orphanage. They take in orphan giraffes that they find in the wild. They bring them here. They raise them until they're old enough to be turned back out into the wild again. And I saw this group of little kids. They were so blasted cute. They all waved to me and smiled, and I told the gal that was with them they ought to charge people money to take this picture. They're so cute. So anyway, once you go inside, they give you a half of a coconut shell with feed in it for the giraffes. And when you weigh in, they have some TVs and whatnot with videos on them to explain about the center, how long it's been in operation, and exactly what it does and how they operate. And I think they have about I don't know, nine or 10 giraffes that they have rescued from various places, and some of them have been born here at the center. And once they're old enough, like we're talking 3 or 4 years, then they turn them back out into the wild in various places around Kenya. Anyway, so you take your capped coconut shell full of feed, and the giraffes line up all along this fence, 4 or 5 of them out there feeding at a time. The rest of them are back in the woods. And you just feed them, you're supposed to just feed them one piece of the food at a time. And they stick their big black slimy tongues out and collect it from you. You can see off in the distance, there's a hotel just on the other side of that fence called, I think it's the Giraffe Manor or something like that. And you can stay there for a few $100 a night. You can feed the giraffes out the windows of your hotel room. So that'd be something fun to try sometime if you were coming back to Nairobi and had some time. Here, I guess they encourage all the kids from the local schools to come and learn about how to care for giraffes. And it's really quite entertaining. See, they have a bumper down there so that the giraffes can only reach with their necks just about to the rail, so they can't go too much past it. The little one, like that little one there, has a little trouble. He's not quite tall enough to get to the fence, so it's a little harder to feed him. But they have big signs all over the place that say, beware of giraffe headbutts. So if you do something they don't like, they're liable to butt you with their head and knock you over. So kinds of caution. And I tried petting them a couple of times. They don't like to be petted on the nose or mouth like like you can a horse. And I saw somebody pet one on the neck, and it didn't mind that. I tried several times to pet this one on the nose, and it tried. There you go. It shied away from me every time. They didn't like that. So you notice down there at the bottom there are some warthogs, and I'll tell you the story they told us about the symbiotic relationship between warthogs and giraffes. So warthogs apparently aren't the smartest animals in the world. In fact, they're kind of dumb, and they're also very short. And so they're not so aware of their surroundings like the giraffes are. So the warthogs use the giraffes as an early warning system in case there's some danger coming up, like lions or leopards or whatever. Tigers, but lions or leopards. If the giraffes start running, then the warthogs start running. And the way that the relationship is symbiotic is the warthogs, again, are pretty stupid. And a lot of times, once they start running, they'll run for a while, and then they'll forget why they're running, and they'll stop running. And so in that case, whoever's chasing them will eat the warthogs first and leave the giraffes alone. So that's the reason that the giraffes tolerate the warthogs being around them. And there were quite a number of warthogs in the pen here with the giraffes. So you look in the distance back there, you kind of off to our left, where that hut is, there's a bunch of other giraffes out there in the woods. And I'm not sure how they determine who comes to the fence to feed and who doesn't. But apparently, as long as they're there, they can get as much food as they want. And this little guy in the orange shirt here, no, it was a girl, was so cute. Oh man, she was just a doll. Fun to watch her feed the giraffe. I tried to put a piece of food on top of my camera so the giraffe would come right up and take it off the camera, but it kept falling off, so it didn't work. Anyway, there's the warthogs. And there's 2 or 3 more over on the other side, right there at the foot of that other giraffe. But anyway, that's our trip to the Giraffe Center. It was very entertaining and very educational. And then next we're off to the Kazuri bead factory. And I need to tell you something about Kazuri beads. Kazuri, sorry, not Kazuri. Kazuri beads. This place employs single women who are raising children, so single moms. So this is not a tourist trap. This is a legitimate business, and you'll probably find these Kazuri beads are sold all over the world in, I think, some pretty upscale stores, maybe high-end department stores and stuff. They export all over the place. But these single moms work at this place to produce these beads. They're made out of clay. They're fired once. Then once they fired, they glaze them with various colors. Then they fire them a second time, which is the glass pieces that are in the glazing. It makes them shiny on the outside. So they're fired for like 8 hours the first time, 8 hours the second time, until the beads are ready, and then they're inspected for quality purposes. They have every kind of color. Like I can. Then you can come over to this place here, and you can make your own necklace or bead string here if you want. They have a bunch of tables, so like a craft area if you want to make your own. Or if you don't, then you can go into the store and purchase the pre-made beads in there. They also make some small ceramic animals and other items for sale. And the proceeds are used against these single moms for families. And it's not a piecework operation. They're actually paid. They're hourly employees, so it's not like a sweatshop where they have to produce so many pieces. But it's a well-known operation here, and it's worthwhile supporting. So if you're in Nairobi, you should stop by Kazuri Beads and support their operation, because it's a good cause. There's a guy there playing the guitar and singing. Just to walk around the inside of their actual sales location. So anyway, it's fun to go watch and see how they do it, and it's a good operation. So stay tuned tomorrow. We start our epic game drive to Masai Mara. It's about a 5-hour trip here from Nairobi. They come and pick us up at our house take us there, and